So at the beginning, like everybody, we start to create humanoid like look like us. So if they look like us, we expect the behavior to be like us. We expect the robot to see the world like us, to understand everything, to understand the situation, to have the right appropriate behavior in the right context, because it looks like us. But robot can't see the world like we do. They
Right.
can't do everything we does, you know? So at the end, you feel disappointment about the humanoid robot. So I tried to find a way to shift the expectation, to project people into an unexpected situation, meeting something they do not know. They have some codes, 2 eyes, long ears, a behavior that is very animal, but that's not a dog, that's not a human, that's something else. And then start something that I call the double encounter. I can discover and can be curious about the character, but the character can be curious about me.
Right.
And then something, an adventure can start. One day, I start playing with a sound localization algorithm, and I discovered that I felt seen by the machine when the machine is looking at me because I have made a sound or something. And that day, I understood that the most important thing is to reflect the life. Even when I'm talking to you, I'm looking you into the eye, you are moving, you are smiling, you are doing
Right.
something. I'm answering you, and I'm reflecting your own existence. And since I'm doing this, it totally changed the way the robot is perceived. And you know, the proof it works is when I got kids. If we got kids here, they will be running all over to meet the robot, and at the end, they will be back on mine, say, yours is the only one that runs, you know, because they feel they exist for the robot. One day, I understood that a humanoid robot is a character. So this means that it's like a character who escaped from the story to enter the reality. And the opportunity is huge, because then, if the character from the story is entering our world, we can live its story.
And I just love how you created an entire backstory, you created an animated movie,
Yeah.
and the other thing you've talked about in some of your other talks is once you take this character approach, there's actually a lot of professional people that have been in the business of developing characters for a long, long time. I mean, you can look at Disney, you can look at all types, you know, the basic storybooks that we grew up with. So once you have this kind of concept of a character, it gives you an ability to build that out in lots of different directions.
People can know about the humanoid, the character, before meeting the character. They know the value, they know the mission, they know the funny things about that. And then the first time they can interact with the humanoid, they know what to say. They have an idea of what the robot could be useful for, what is the value, what is interesting that character. And then something can start in between the users and the robots. You know, if you take a human perspective on what a humanoid robot is doing, let's say they are bad at everything. It's difficult to grab an object. It's difficult to move somewhere. It's difficult to interact, to recognize the situation. They are bad at everything. If you consider this robot in a human perspective. But if you take a look to a dog cannot talk. He's bad at talking. There's a lot of things he can do, but if you take the dog point of view, he's good at, I don't know, moving, jumping, listening sound, smelling things. So I tried to move in a very German word for that, which is Umwelt. I tried to make people understand what the robot is good at, and what the robot is good at, to make them consider that this robot has magic power, like balance on the ball, he can feel objects, he can feel people that are coming there because they are small objects like this, and there is a lot of magic inside this character design.
Right, I love it.
The goal of my life, I'm used to say that the goal of my life is to bring Marvel to people, you know? I want the reality, I want everybody being curious about this, about that, about science, about knowledge and things like that. And we are the generation that is bringing humanoid to people. We have a duty. We need to create the more beautiful, because humanoid at the end will live with us. In 100 years, there will be humanoid everywhere. So I want our generation to bring the best humanoid possible. Show to the people of the future that we are more than designing tools. We understand peoples, we understand inclusion, we understand how to help whatever could be that person to be helped.